Good morning, guys. If you've been watching my fairly recent videos, I've been doing quite a few bugs, insects, that sort of thing, using microscopes to look at them. Now, my original microscope was USB connection, direct USB, 50 to 500 times it says there. And you adjust the focus with this, and it's got LED lights in there, and it clips onto one of these stands, which are all right, but they're a little bit sort of loose and floppy, and you keep tightening them up and they end up not getting in tight anymore. But those clip on there, and that's how you use them. Before we go any further, I'll just say I did upgrade this. I've now got a Wi-Fi connecting one, so it's basically exactly the same microscope. Well, basically the same microscope, but they've got a bit on the end of it that is the Wi-Fi connection. So you can still plug a USB lead into it, but it works Wi-Fi. Anyway, back to the subject. These little brackets, they're all right, but they're a bit wobbly and I don't like them. So I've tried a few other ideas. I did this bracket, 3D printed it. It's got a little ridge in it, so it still clips into the same hole, and it's a bit more rigid. But then you've got the problem, can you get the microscope in the right position, depending on what your tripod's like. When I first thought of this, it was because I wanted to look at something that way rather than that way. So that way, not too bad, you can get up close to things, but that way you're restricted by the top of your microscope. So I then did another version, this one, which has got the attachment just there instead. So same idea. Still clips on nice and tight, but this time you're there already at right angles. Still not perfect. So then I've been playing with what other way can I do this. That one is a tight fit. Yeah. So I've come up with this idea. This is the first attempt. It's not right, but it's handy for demonstrating. So we've got a ridge in there, so that will sit in there. It's actually dimensioned for the Wi-Fi one, which I'll show you in a minute. But that sits in there, and then the idea was that will then slide on there like that and hold it tight. Now, and then you can screw it onto your tripod there or there. Now, no good for this one, because straight away you either cover up your focus adjustment, or if you push it on from the other way, it'll foul those two buttons. So I can't use it on this one, but you can see the general idea. That holds it in place, and that clamps it solid. But so I say, a couple of errors on that one. So this is the final version, I think, because it seems to work. I've got a quick release on this tripod, which is quite convenient. I haven't attempted to print any thread in these holes. I just allowed the screw to cut its own thread. So it's the right sized hole, and that, if you screw that in there carefully, it'll cut its own thread. And you're in. So how does this one work? Well, first of all, we've got extra buttons on it. That's your on off button. That's your LED brightness. If we turn it on, press the button. Yeah, LED on, and then you can adjust the brightness with that. Oh, on the USB one, that control is on the lead here. Right, so we're on there. on this one I forgot about the buttons. On this one I've made a little slot. So there we go. So I've got a slot up there to clear the wheel and the on-off button. Those are clear anyway, so that just fits in. You might be able to see that I've given this a little bit of a rub down to make it smoother and an easier fit, but that fits in there. And then this, put it the right way round, so that slot there clears that wheel. And then there we are. So we're on, and the on-off button's free. Oh, I turned the LED down, didn't I? We can access the zoom, focus adjustment, and those buttons there, they actually give you up to 2 times magnification of what you've got on the what you're looking at anyway. So this is my, well, version 2 of this type, but it's actually my sorry, where is it? I've lost it. Yeah, that is that one. 1, 2, 3. It's my 3rd attempt, or 4th attempt if you count that one. Once you cut the thread in there once, you don't have to recut it every time. It'll just go into the thread that you've created. So there we go. That's my new clamp for my Wi-Fi microscope. And you can still adjust this way. What we can't do is lift it up and down other than rebending the tripod. The other thing with this, I'll just mention it for anybody who thinks of getting one of these, as soon as you touch this adjustment you're actually moving the whole thing and it goes out of focus, which is a bad thing and a good thing, because you will find that if you're focusing on a bug, the focal length is very short, so you might be focusing on the top of the bug, and you can just put a little bit of pressure on here and the focal point will move down across the bug just by touching that, rather than trying to do this, because when you do this quite often well, you'll have to try it yourself. I found it very frustrating to try and keep what I'm looking at in the middle of the frame when you start playing with the focus. And the final thing is, don't forget to take the dust cover off. That is there to stop dust going in there. It's not there as an additional lens or anything. There's a few reviews on eBay and that saying it's rubbish, can't see anything because the lens is in the way. Well, yeah, you're supposed to take it off. It's not a lens, it's just a dust cover. They've both got them. Right, that should do. Thank you very much for watching. I'll probably go out in the garden and have a look at some green fly now, because I noticed we've got plenty. So that'll probably be the next video. Hi guys, we're out in the garden looking at the green fly on my rose. I think we'll take these in and have a closer look with the microscope. Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.